The ProLites are putting on a show here in Wheatland.
I think we didn't even make it 3 laps into this new season without another truck wreck happening again.
Everybody, we've got contact.
We're going to go out there and race each other respectfully, but we're going to leave it all on the line. These people come and spend their hard-earned money to come watch us. The last thing we're going to do is baby put it around and not put on a show because we don't want to make each other mad.
I had told them on the way, I said, if I have the opportunity when we're coming to the last corner to give them a nudge and take the win, I'm going for it.
Game plan is really we got to come in swinging. There's not much room for errors. There's no room for mistakes. We got to come in pretty much with our full at 110%. Make sure that we're giving everybody else a run for their money. After not being in Wheatland for a couple years and never driving a ProLite truck out here, I can honestly say this is one of the most fun times I've ever driven a race vehicle or anything in general. Coming from a track that's actually technical, there's stuff to be made, there's long places, and there's no room for mistakes compared to other tracks. This is the most fun I've had truck racing in a long time. I actually wanted to race CJ ever since I left UTVs a couple years ago. Coming into it, that's the name that everybody wants to beat. And able to race against him again without buying a Pro 4, it feels good, and know that those UTV days can come back and we can make some power.
There's a lot of trucks out there and a lot of very fast competitive guys that were fast last year. I mean, last year's champion was here, Kyle. And just stuff can happen in the way how slippery the track is. Mistakes are going to be made and people are either going to capitalize or they're going to force a mistake and capitalize that way. Funny story actually, CJ is running my championship truck from 2020, so I had to go over there and give her a little rub down. But no, he's a good driver and I've learned a lot through him over the years, just talking and testing with him, and that's kind of what he's taught me is make it through halfway and at that second half come on strong, and he's going to be a contender for sure. He is in whatever he's thrown in, so definitely one to look out and definitely one I want to try to beat up on my old truck.
Sport of short course racing means a lot. I mean, I grew up watching it, seeing it on TV, and then getting outside and seeing it in real life, it's a whole lot different. But it's awesome being in one of these trucks. It's some of the most fun. Racing in CJ agrees is one of a lifetime thing. I mean, you grow up and watching him and seeing him out in a Pro 4 and a Pro 2, and 10 years ago he's in a ProLite around my age. It's pretty awesome getting to bump doors with him.
You know, it's been like 2 years since we've raced here, and I really enjoy this class and this track. I mean, it's definitely a driver's track. I think all the drivers enjoy it, and it's just a place that we all look forward to coming back to and racing at. I think our goal this weekend is just to test out the truck. You know, we had kind of a really bad year last year, and I think this year is just going to be like mostly a rebuilding year, and I think we're just going to try and figure out what problems we come upon with the truck and just play it by ear and see how it goes and just try and have fun this weekend.
Built it over the winter, redid it all, loaded it in the trailer, and here we are, first race. I don't know, it's gonna be a big learning curve, I know that. From what I used to race, you know, it was 2 wheels and that was it. And, you know, now we got 4 wheels, a roll cage, and a steering wheel. A lot different, but I think the racer mentality will still be there and be able to overcome the differences. Hopefully we can overcome them quickly.
Yeah, I got some practice laps in this truck a couple weeks ago. Had some fun in it, did some donuts and just having fun. But it's just gonna be a learning year for me in this truck. I don't expect to win anything, just hopefully I can step in next year and maybe get a couple wins.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I've been very fortunate, brought into a good family. My dad's winningest driver in short course history, so being brought into that and then just going through the ranks, starting in a buggy, then going into ProLite, and then ProLite Pro 2, and then Pro 2, Pro 4, and then now we've been running, I think we have 8 Pro 4 championships and a couple of UTV championships in there, I think 5 or 6 of those, and 3 Pro 2 championships. ProLite's the only class never won a championship in, won a lot of races, we're always right there, but never ended up getting a championship in it. So it's been 10 years since I've competitively ran a ProLite. I'm excited to be here at Wheatland, Missouri for MidAmerica round 2, round 1 of the off-road trucks running here, and I'm ready.
It's always a dream. You're always thinking like, all right, you're at the races, you're watching John and CJ just kill it out there, and you're a part of the family, and you just want to be in the same shoes that they're in. So, you know, we just sat out one day that I bought a side-by-side from John, and, you know, we just kind of went off on our own and kind of kept clicking at it. got the opportunity to build a ProLite, and we knew that's where we wanted to be. It's not the side-by-sides, but the trucks. That's where we wanted to be. You know, my father and I just work as hard as we can at it to keep this program going and just absolutely kill it. And we got the championship last year, so that's been a huge thing for us this off season.
Looking for the green flag here. Kyle Greaves has been the truck to beat all weekend long. Keep your eyes on that number 34 KGB Customs machine. Green flag out. Here we go. 10 laps in distance. The ProLite are putting on a show here at Wheatland. DJ trying to not drive into the door. He does a beautiful job. Shoots right out to the front and drives away.
If you want to look like you can close the distance, I'ma give it ever since you're so persistent. With you, I'm just practicing, cause I'm back to back, let's get back to winning. As a matter of fact, I'm not that forgiving, cause you did it to yourself, that's a bad decision. I don't see no one in front of me, do as it goes, you ain't got a soul, whoa. Always say that they gon' come for me, knowing they won't, they doing the most, whoa. Chasing my, gotta get already, not selling my, you wanna, y'all moving, ready to, whoa. I'm the main event, ain't no back before, let's get it, y'all let's see the G, better get low, walking with it, ain't nobody in front of me, ain't nobody in front of me, ain't nobody in front of me, ain't nobody in front of me. You can try to prove it, but you try to give respect, but who we looking for if there was no one left? Ain't nobody in front of me, ain't nobody in front of me, ain't nobody in front of me, ain't nobody in front of me.
Oh, and there goes CJ all the way around. CJ stands on the throttle wisely to get out of the way of Maddox Bailey to keep him from running in the back of that truck.
Cause when I let the beat sound, you think I'm crazy, but none of you critics gon' faze me. So when I talk like this, don't blame me. I know I'm bad with it. Go against a goat, that's bad business. All of y'all are jokes so sad with it. To me, you're just a ghost, don't get mad with me. Just
Maddox Bailey having a hard time getting the truck rotated right there. CJ was really able to close up the gap and then, of course, get underneath him, apply the pressure in turn number 9. CJ making his way through turn number 9, looking for the checkered flag here. It's going to be a Greaves sweep. 1 to Kyle, 1 to CJ. A little bit of pressure right behind from Johnny Holger, but it's going to be Kyle Greaves who should grab the overall here, as you talked about, Dave, with a first and a second. So congratulations to him. CJ finishing up with a third and a first.
We had a good run, and we knew we were knocking some rust off. By halfway through, we're like, all right, we're starting to get this thing figured out, and we started just chipping away at it, and then I got out into second right away behind Kyle, and I was kind of driving like a little bit of a hammerhead, getting excited being in second, and ended up spinning out all by myself over there in the sweeper, and I'm like, all right, I got my work cut out for me for now, and Maddox got by, and then I just knew I had to put my head down. It was really important to get into second by the halfway, and I was able to get by Max right before the half, coming to the line right there. He got a little tight, and I was able to get underneath him, and then I knew from there it was going to be a battle between me and Kyle, and it brought me back to old days. And when the track was slick, short shift it, keep it as straight as I can. Think of running this thing like a go-kart, and it paid off, man. When these guys were stepped out, I could keep that thing straight, keep it hooked up, and just drive it forward. So I just can't thank all my crew. A couple of my buddies came to help me do this, and one other guy, and my dad's not here, and I know he's just foaming at the mouth, chomping at the bit, being that he couldn't be here. So just all my crew back home. Brian from Race Driven, this is his truck. He let me run it for nothing, and just putting the time and effort into it. So we worked our butts off on it, and glad to be able to come away with a win.
Coming to the checkers, obviously CJ was checked out on me, so I settled in for second. I kept a consistent gap between me and third, and I just tried to take it home and take home second. You know, I didn't need a wrecker any more than I did, and you know, when I passed the checkers, I'm like, man, the one race CJ races and he beats me. I'm like, that guy, I'll get him someday. But you know, then we were coming up here, went through tech. CJ, I talked a little bit, and then they pulled me aside and said, yeah, you got the overall, you're the winner of the weekend. I'm like, holy shit, like that's unreal. You know, it's such a motion changes the flip of the switch, because you're like, man, I lost, but you know, it's all good, and then you're actually the winner of the weekend, so it's definitely cool.